So if you look into this, there is a menu item called security. Okay. Under security, you would be seeing user responsibility Oracle audit. So in user, you would be creating the user and monitoring the user. In responsibility, you would be defining the user and the request set you will be creating. Okay. And in the Oracle is a data group. Okay. So this is related to the security part in the sense user part. Okay. So if you wish to create a user, okay, this is the user screen, and the all yellow columns are mandatory columns. Okay, so if you look into that, username is mandatory, password is mandatory. Okay, and the effective date means the start date is mandatory. These are the mandatory things basically. Okay, so and along with this, you need to have one responsibility as well. Without the responsibility, it will be nothing. Like, even though if you log in, you can log into the e-business suite, but you won't be seeing nothing. Okay, so that's how user and before creating the user, first you need to have one responsibility. Okay, so that's the sequence basically you will be follow, but you will be follow from other way around. It is something like create a user. Okay, so for this you need to have responsibility. Create the responsibility. This is the one. Okay, and let's see the responsibility part. Define responsibility. So for that, see here our responsibility name is a mandatory, application is mandatory, responsibility key is mandatory. Okay, and the data group is mandatory, and menu items are mandatory. So you need to have create a data group and create a menu. Okay, create a menu. So here data group and menu. So before creating the responsibility, again, you need to have one menu and data group. Okay. So as I showed you here, under Oracle, you would be seeing data group. Okay, the basically the data group is the combination of application and Oracle ID means database user. Oracle ID is nothing but here data group. Sorry, the Oracle ID is nothing but the database user. Okay, so usually we will be using the apps user here. Okay, applications for that upload. See, basically, if you okay, let's say you created one new application in the sense a custom application you have generated. So before creating the customized application, you need to have one user means you need to have one schema, isn't it? Okay, so that application name, schema name you would be giving. So by any chance, if you are creating a user, okay, for that particular customized application, so you will be creating a new data group with that application and the Oracle ID. Okay, if you see the usually the standard people will be using standard. Okay, so the standard, if you see all point will be pointing to the apps. Okay, means if you are creating any of the user, okay, so belongs to the seeded object, I mean seeded products, you would be using the standard data group. Or else, if you want to create a separate user for any of your own application, which we'll call as a customized application, then that time you would be creating one application. You would be registering the you will be registering the product and also the product name. That product name is nothing but application name plus Oracle ID. Okay, so if anybody asks you what is the data group, it's a combination of application and Oracle ID. So Oracle ID here is a database user. Okay, so that's a data group and menu. Menu will be under application menus. Okay, these are the menus basically. Okay, so as I said, create a menu. Yeah, create a menu. So let me pull. These are the existing menus. Okay. And what is that? Sysadmin. Let's pull. No. Okay, let's not waste time. Okay, we need to have one. Let's go to. Okay, this the one. Just I'm showing you the existing one basically. Okay, sorry. Look. So this is one of the this one, and let's see, concurrent profile application install request. Okay, and Oracle support. If you look the security. Okay, so what and all you are seeing here, these and all menus, right? Under system administrator, these and all menus. All these menus will be assigning to this. Assigning to this. Okay, let's say you want to create security. Okay, let me copy. We'll create one now. This is for security, and let's do for request. Or if you want to create a new one, what is the name you need to keep it, and everything you would be getting from the functional people. Okay, so we'll keep. And if you want to see, you can see how it looks like basically. That you can check it out like this. Okay, so the security part, this is the mandatory main thing. Okay, so create one menu and create a data group, and data group you need to have Oracle ID and application. Okay, so menu if you see here, so menu name and all. Okay, in the sequence, what prompt need to be there, what sub menu is there, that need to be. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's from the back. So this is the order. So to create any of the user, this is the order. First, you need to have a menu in your hand. You need to have, okay, either you need to have a menu in your hand or you need to create a menu. Right. Next, data group need to be created. Either you need to have a data group in your hand or you need to create it one. Right. So responsibility in the same way. With all these inputs, you would be creating any of the user. Okay, so since I restored it to the other, since I restored it to some backward date, the user which we have created, the other day we have created one user, right? That user gone, it's gone. So we'll be creating all this at a time now. All right. So let's start with the menu part. Okay. So yeah. So application menu. We need to. Okay. So yeah, screen share. So navigation would be application menu. Okay, the same thing if you see here. See, system administrator responsibility, application, and menu. Okay, I'll give the responsibility name as well. System administrator responsibility. Okay. Okay, I'll add it later. Application and menu. All right. So here let's give some name like aux menu. The application, the menu key it is basically okay. So some unique need to be, and here I mean the menu name, the one which you are going to see. Okay, so it is aux menu. Let's say menu type. It's your wish. It's not a mandatory thing anyway. Okay, so prompt aux security and related to the security. That's it. Okay. So second one, aux. What is that request? Okay. This is how you have given. Okay. So okay, save it. Control S or click this. It will be when you save it, it will come like this. Okay. If you want to see how it would be looking, look, access security, access request. It would look like this. Okay. So fine. We are done with the come on menu part. Okay. Next, data group. So this one is usually not required, but we can create a new one also, not a problem. Okay, so is the Oracle security Oracle Data Group navigation. Data Group. Okay, and the same responsibility. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's create one. Aux Data Group application with library apps. Assign the application. Okay. Now I think for one application only one Oracle ID need to be assigned. Okay. So here already we have assigned the application object library is already having Oracle ID. Okay, already assigned to Oracle ID, so it won't allow. Okay, let's go with the standard only. Okay, in your in your assignment when you need to create at that time in the documentation they would be giving the new product name and the new product new the Oracle ID, and also you need to know the navigation basically, which I have mentioned here. Okay, so we got the security as well. Now, so we are done with the menu. We are done with the data group. Or somebody messaged. All right. Okay, we are done with the menu. We are done with the group. Okay, let's go with the responsibility now. Security. Oops. Responsibility define. Okay, so create security responsibility define. Okay, this part stage we discuss from here we discussed in the last class. So define responsibility name aux ability application will go with the application object library. Data group, let's give standard only. Sorry, and menu. Yes, here we are giving aux menu. Okay. What did I do? Okay, let's save this stuff. Let us save this stuff. Oh no, application. So let's save this stuff. Okay, we are done with the responsibility as well. Okay, now create the user. Now, this one is user defined. Okay, so Oxwave password is some welcome done. Okay, there itself it will be asking two times. Okay, so here you will be seeing re-enter the password, so two times you need to say enter. I mean mouse and mouse won't work here, so when you give this and you need to say enter. Okay, the moment you enter you will get the message saying that re-enter the password here. It won't prompt actually, it will just give the prompt here. Okay, so you need to look into this. So, in sysadmin most of the times the prompts and all you would be seeing here in the status. Okay, this is and all there, right? And the responsibility name aux, let's say aux responsibility. Save this. Auxview is the username. Okay, so with data. All right, done. Okay, so let's close everything, clear the cache. So we have created, we have end to end one cycle we have done, like creating the user from the scratch, like from the menu and from the data group. Okay, everything. So let's log out safely. Clear history. Everything. No, close all tabs. Nothing is there. Let's see. Sometimes it required bounds. I don't know. Let's see. Let's test all that. But it's not a mandatory. Oracle is not recommend, not saying that when you create a user, you need to bounce the application or something. So I see this problem in only with the VMware. In the real time, whenever I create a user, immediately it will be reflecting. I never see. I never bounce to the application to create the user basically. Okay, so that part you just keep. I mean, just you are practicing. If you are in our systems, if you are not able to see what you have created, for that you bounce it. But in the real time, that won't happen. Okay, so maybe something specific to the. See here, two things we are doing. One, we are not accessing forms from client machine. We are accessing from Linux itself. Okay, and how the behavior and what are the limitations here and all, we never know. That's to as a practice we can't afford two machines for a simple practice, so we are just doing some temporary arrangements to perform our practice and that. So that is the reason, in the VMware, in the Linux machine, we will be facing this kind of issues. Normally in the real time you won't be seeing. Okay, so mcode 10.oracle.com colon, it's 8,000, isn't it? It should be 8,000. Can put it 10, you're right. Oh, sorry. Can put it 10, it is. Please read it. So, Oxwave is our username. Password is welcome. So, usually, whenever you create a user, okay, so very first time when you log in, okay, database administrator will be giving one password, and that forcefully it will request. It's mandatory to request. Okay, like this you would be seeing. So let's say welcome article 1234 article 1234. All right. Okay, see, you have seen only Aux responsibility. So Aux security, these are the menus. Aux security, Aux requests. Look, exactly. See, exactly the same thing you are seeing here. When you create a menu, what under navigation you have seen, the same thing you are seeing here. Aux responsibility under Aux responsibility. Aux security is there. Aux request is there. Okay, so as from here now onwards, so Aux user can create a user because it's security I have given, isn't it? So for the user creation and all can, I mean, this Aux user, whoever using the Aux user, they can, the Aux wave user, they can create the user. Okay, so you can launch the forms. Everything it works as system administrator. It is another responsibility, something like a system administrator. That's all with the limited menus, with the limited features, you can say. System administrator is something like a SysDBA. It's master user for front end, means for administration activities and all. So that is the reason it will have everything. Okay. So whenever we create a user, anyway, we are not the persons to decide which user should contain which responsibility and so that depends on the team basically. In the customer side, there's some set of people will be there. Development side, some set of people will be there. Something like that, you know. So we'll be creating a common. Suppose three teams are there. Development team is there, testing team is there, and the client team is there. Okay. So for testing team, we'll create one responsibility. For development team, we'll create one responsibility. For client side team, will create one responsibility. So accordingly, you know, whenever you create a user, that responsibility will be assigned to that particular user. So they will be mentioning you like, you know, okay, this guy is a client side guy. This guy is a developer. Create the user with for developer. Create a user for a tester. Create a user for so and so, something like that. You know, so they will be requesting us, and we'll go as per that. So since you got three responsibilities, you know, when you create a user for the client, you will give the client responsibility like that. Okay. So let me open my phone. Right. See, single request or request. So let me. You can also execute active user to make sure everything is okay. Okay, okay. That active user request also we need to assign to this guy. You won't be seeing. Okay. So, here you can see that. Look, you have seen. Got it right. So that's how user works basically. It's clear, right? User part, and you can switch the responsibility here itself. If you have a multiple responsibilities, you know, you can switch over here. If the only one responsibility is there, that is the reason it's not usually showing. If you have a multiple responsibilities, you know, then it will show switch responsibility from system admin. Normally, system administrator is one of the responsibilities. System administration is one of the responsibilities. So when you if you want to switch system administrator to system administration here, this when you got more responsibilities, you know, you would be seeing this switch responsibility part, and you can switch internally. You don't need to come here, and again you don't need to launch the forms again. Okay. That also we can see here. Let's fetch okay. Sorry. Ox. Right. So let's say system administrator, system administration. Now this is not responsible. Again, same problem. This should immediately this should get activated actually. So then from here to system administrator responsibility would be switching. Okay, so let's out of this and move back to our system administration. It's clear, right? User part. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll move to profiles. Right. See, profile is basically, system defined variables. Okay, it's system is nothing but your application here. Okay, your e-business suite. So the profiles is basically, the standard variables will be there to make sure your system is up and running or in the healthy condition and all. Some variables will be there like those variables and all. It will be coming along with the installation basically. Okay, along with the installation, all these variables. Okay, so profiles, if you see, global level, if you see like the two types of profiles, you would be seeing one is a custom profile and another one is a seeded profile. So seeded profiles are the one which you will be getting along with the installation, and custom profiles on top of the existing profiles. What and all if you are defining, that part. So if you see here the screen, you got different types of profiles are there. The site level, application level, responsibility level, and user level. There are something else called server level and organization level, which can be ignored and it's not being used basically. For the different reasons they have kept, and then maybe in the future releases and all, they would give the more importance to this. But as of now, the profiles will be dedicated to them. I mean, profiles will be like if you ask me, if anybody asks what are the different types of profiles, we need to say site level profile, application level profile, and user level profile, responsibility level profile, and user level profile. Okay. See, if you see the site level is nothing but the global. If you assign any of the variable in global, that would be applicable to the entire application. Okay, I mean the entire e-business suite means the for that any of the user that variable will be assigned, and any of the responsibility, any of the application, and any of the application, everything. Okay, so if you define some okay, for example, take an example of priority. Usually, the priority would be for any of the concurrent requests, priority would be 50. So I'll show you that priority first. Okay, so see, for any, not only for this, for any, the priority would be 50. The default priority for any of the concurrent request. Okay, so see, basically concurrent requests will be executed based on the priority. If you say number one priority from in the queue, the first priority will be, yeah, default one is 50. So the best is one and the worst is 100. Okay, by default. So let's say this is one a profile variable basically. Okay, so if you in the site level, if you make the priority as a 40, that 40 will be applicable. Now the default priority will become 40. Whenever you execute any of the concurrent program here, you would be seeing 40 here. Okay, the same way site level, I said this is the site level. Okay, if you assign the responsibility level, whenever you execute any of the concurrent program from that particular responsibility, only that a concurrent program priority would be 40 and all other concurrent programs priority would be 50. So responsibility level, if you assign it, if you assign it to the application level, in the product level, whenever you execute any of the concurrent program from that particular product user and that particular product responsibility, that particular product related concurrent programs priority will be 40 and the rest all concurrent programs priority will be the 50 default one. Okay, the user level, if you assign the same profile at the user level, only what are the programs you can execute from that particular user, those guys priority will be 40 and the rest all will be 50. Okay, site level applicable to the entire e-business suite. Next, application level applicable to only that particular product. Responsibility level applicable to only that particular responsibility, and user level only. Okay, so I'll show you an example. So for every profile, there would be one profile name. Okay, default. I mean, system defined profile name. So if you see, no, site level. Let's go with the site level. So You can search with the priority. It looks like this basically. The profile name, it would be site level, application level. Since we have selected site level, only site level part will be enabled. Okay, the rest all will be disabled. So by any chance, if you assign, I mean, if you give any of the product, the only application level will be highlighted and others will be deactivated. In the same time, responsibility side, in the same time, user side, one by one we will see. Now initially we will go with the site level. Okay, since I didn't remember the complete stuff, I have selected the concurrent request priority. This is the one basically. Okay, let me give 40. If it is empty, that's the default one, 50. Okay, since I have selected 40 here, close it. Let me execute a concurrent program. Submit a new request here. No, okay, you can't. From here, you see the active user. It become 40 since you changed it. Okay, for all other guys, it looking just now you change it right, so it become 40. You clear, right? Okay, let me let me let responsibility level. Let's say system administrator responsibility. I have given. Okay, so concurrent. See, request site level is 40 and the system administrator level 30. And system administrator level 30. Okay, now I'm anywhere, I'm under system administrator. Let me execute one concurrent program again. The same thing. See, it becomes 30. So the priority would be from the down. Okay, so whenever you are executing, whenever you execute any of the concurrent program and it is there in the queue, first user level is there, any profile is there or not, it will be verified. Okay, so if nothing is there, it will go to the application level. If the I'm sorry, responsibility level. If the responsibility level nothing is there, again application level is nothing is there, then it will take the site level, whatever the default is there, that we will take care. Okay, see here we have kept site level is 40 and the responsibility level 30. So priority given to responsibility level only. Okay, so let's say user level. Let us make it user level 10. User. So okay, sysadmin. Let's say for sysadmin. See, user level activated. This application responsibility are deactivated. Okay, let me give 10. Now again execute the concurrent program. Here. See, it has come 10. User level 10. responsibility level 30, site level 40. It changed everything. That's how you will be. Okay. So I've just given an example. Concurrent requests are one more is there. The site name bold case, another. Since I use these, regularly, I remember normally the thousands of menus are there actually. So you can't remember. So if you really require, okay, if somebody need to advise you, okay, either Oracle support or technical people or functional people need to advise you to change the profile name, okay, responsibility level. This is the profile name. This is the responsibility level. This much application level. This much user level is this much something like that. You would be getting a MD120 master document, so that inputs you will be taking and implementing. The only difference of the difference is since they don't have any access, so they would be coming to you with the action plan. That's it. You are the executor here. And only thing is, okay, you need to keep that in your mind. You should, by that time, you should know, okay, there are different types of profiles are there. And if I want to change the profile, I need to log into the system administrator. Okay, in the system administrator, I need to click on the profile. There is a menu called profile. And when I click that, site will be there. Okay, if I click that, I'll be getting this kind of screen. These things and all should come into your mind. That's navigation and all need to be come into the mind. And the inputs anyway, you would be getting from outside. You never ever initiate yourself and change the profile unless there is a strong requirement from Oracle side or the functional and technical guys side. Okay, there is the site name. There is a site name basically. There is a header. Here you are seeing Oracle applications, right? So I can say Oxwave Oracle applications. Normally, at the time of cloning, I do this because I'll say, in the test machines and all, I just want to know which machine I have logged in. Sometimes, some particular point of time, I'll after spending 1 hour or 2 hours, or which, number of applications I have opened, and which application means the number of Oracle applications I have opened, and which Oracle application belongs to what and all. To by seeing itself in again going somewhere and checking, and by seeing the screen itself, I should know. That is the reason. How I would be doing is, let's say it's a dev one. Okay, so dev one cold cloned from production as of which data and which date you have cloned that. Okay, so that I'll have some idea, like, okay, this was cloned on, this is the cloned machine, okay, September 7th with September 7th data or October 9th data, something like that. So till that that particular dev machine contains the data till September 9th. So what are the transactions happened after September 9th, you won't be. So again, if you want that data, again, you need to clone it something else. So to get some clarity, by seeing itself, it won't give any value, but it's for the confirmation. Like the easy, if you are working with the multiple applications and all, it will be easy for you to avoid the confusion basically. Okay, so normally in our environment, here there won't be any issue because we'll be supporting to one particular customer. So you must be knowing like which. Hardly you would see 5 or 6 environments totally. Okay, so in that 5 or 6, it's very easy for you to understand what you are working and why you are working. But when I was in Oracle, almost I'm having so many thousands of customers are there. Okay, so whenever a service request is raised, that request will be coming to us. Means from outside, you guys will be creating the SRs, right? Those SRs and all will be assigned to us at that time. So the time frame also will be set. Okay, so 9 to 10 this need to be executed, something like that. 9 to 10, some 5 SRs are assigned to me. So I need to work. I need to work on 5 requests parallelly. Okay, so request one will have a different action plan. Request two will have a different action plan. Request three and request four will have a different action plans. So to come, if you don't exactly remember like which application or which window belongs to which, you would be like. There are a lot many chances to apply request one action plan and request two action plan and request three. I have seen n number of cases with my colleagues. Okay, so now you have done this. You understood, right, why I would be doing this. Okay, just for our clarity purpose. Okay, so let me close this. You have to restart basically. Restart the forms, not the entire system. See, Oxview Oracle applications you got. So and I will be saying like dev one cloned from production as on so and so data. By saying this, okay, this machine, August cloned machine, this machine, September cloned machine. So accordingly, you will be deciding on which machine you would be, I mean, which cloned machine you need to test this error or something like that. You understood, right? Okay, so I'll show you some of the. So if you see SQL plus. Normally, I'll fetch these profile names and I'll from backend basically. FND percentage profile. So if you see, take this. Where is my notepad? Notepad, where are you? It's gone or what? Yeah, that's okay. And I'll be sharing you the different. See, okay. So here, if you see profile underscore values, profile underscore options underscore real, profile underscore options underscore values. There are different things. So you need to, if you really wanted to write any of the, if you want to see, you need to combine profile underscore options and profile underscore options underscore values. Okay. So application ID, profile ID, something like that you would be getting here. If you ask any of the working people by this time they would have saved so many so many queries related to profile they would share you. I mean, whatever profile queries I do have, I'll be sharing with you. Or else you can also, depends on the requirement, you can also take the help of Google to get this thing. Okay. Next, options underscore values. Yeah, profile option ID. So common one is profile option ID. Here also profile option ID is the profile option name will be here. Okay, values somewhere in the level value application ID. This was right. So option option underscore value is there, right? So let's do one thing. Site level voila. What is that? We'll see. Okay, and select profile underscore ID. Let's select. First, we'll fetch this information from where, like, so probably our this profile ID is 125. Okay, so from here we can get profile ID equal to 125, right? Profile name, so profile name from this guy, where equal to 125 site name. Okay, now you can write select. Okay, so you can write everything. You can, if you want to see everything in a single this one. So select, let's say a dot, this one comma b dot from value. Sorry, from values will be b and this guy will be a, comma a, where a dot profile underscore option underscore id equal to b dot profile underscore option underscore id and a dot profile underscore option underscore id equal to 125. You can change it later. Depends on the requirement, you would be writing then and there itself. See, Arcswave site name is so and so, Arcswave name is so and so. Okay, that's it. Profile name. Okay, if you don't specify this one, see, so name value, name value, something like that. Everything you will get. What are the number of profiles you got, and you can put it in the Excel sheet for your reference if you want to see the profile value, profile name, or now profile name, profile value, profile name, and something like that. Okay, I'll share you some of something like I'll be writing depends on the requirement. So exactly whatever query I have given that would work for you. Okay, you may need depends on your requirement at that particular time. So you would be changing here and there, and on the column, the requested columns you might change or you may truncate something. Depends basically depends on your requirement. So that's how it will be. Okay, so these are the profile for the users. Also, I'll be sharing some of the something like suddenly they'll come like I just want to know how many users are active currently. I mean, in my application today. So I want to fetch one report. Okay, who has logged in from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Who are logged in? Plus give me. Okay, please give me one report or 20 a.m. I mean some business peak hours, non-peak hours. Or like if they wanted to do any of the analysis, they would be asking like, okay, can you please give peak hours? Would be they will be defining like these are the peak hours, these are the non-peak hours. We'll be discussing with the discussing with the client and will be finding okay these are the peak hours for their business and non-peak hours, so they will be like, requesting you like peak hours how many users are connecting, non-peak hours how many users are connecting, something like that means whenever okay you see fnd underscore users hmm, user Okay, so you can say select user underscore name from fnd underscore user where user underscore name like ox. So you would see oxwave. Okay, something like fnd underscore responsibility or responsibilities. Best one is fnd underscore responsibility, maybe spelling mistake. Okay, so this responsibilities contain fnd underscore menu contain the menu things. Fnd underscore responsibility contains all the list of responsibilities. Users contain the user, and there is another table called fnd underscore logins. Okay, login ID, user ID, start time, end time. Okay, so let's say, okay, first let's get select user underscore ID from fnd underscore user where user underscore name, oh no, username equal to oxwave. You are too habituated to the db underscore users. We always confuse. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, okay, so you can say select start time, comma, end time. Okay, with what PID you got? PID is the process ID. Okay, so something like that you can get so much of information. So start time, end time from fnd underscore logins where user underscore ID equal to 1110. Oh, here it is sysadmin, right? It's not active. Let's say sysadmin 0. Surprise. So what date today? 17th. Okay, date format and all, the two date bulk you can get the seconds also, something like that. So for the sysadmin, these are the entries basically. 15th we have logged in sometime, 17th we have logged in sometime, something like that. So this contains that in such a kind of information, and with that, with this combination, we can generate some of the requirement basically. Again, depends on the requirement. You can get it. Okay, I'll share you some of the I mean, some of the user related queries and profile related queries to you. So you clear, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, definitely. Don't worry. So you clear, isn't it? Okay, so I think we are already done. It's at 9:41. So tomorrow we'll freshly start the concurrent. Okay. So here we would be discussing about where are you? Yeah, concurrent request manager program. So how do you define a new program? How do you define a new manager? How do you customize the new manager? And how do you make sure whether your manager is working or not? And how do you bounce the single manager? And how do you tune your manager? And how do you troubleshoot your manager? Okay, there are so many things are there with the concurrent manager stuff. So tomorrow we would be discussing about them. All right. Sure. Okay. So have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.